The special counsel released their findings today about their look into my handling of classified documents. I was pleased to see they reached the conclusion I believed and knew all along they would, that there are no charges should be brought in this case.
And that was Biden taking a little victory lap a while ago over the special counsel's document report. Now, attorney and advisor for Donald Trump for president, Christina Bobb, and constitutional legal expert Jessie Binall join me. All right, Christina, I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, yes, he read one of the lines in the report, but not the others that, quite frankly, make the case for the 25th Amendment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there were a lot of concerns about his ability to recall very simple, basic facts that he should have been able to recall. I think that report actually is a more thorough investigation into his mental health than anything we have seen thus far. It also happens to be outrageously egregious against the comparison of the indictment of Donald Trump. The indictment of Donald Trump is far less concerning than anything that came out in the report, yet the findings reach the exact opposite conclusion.
Well, Jessie, and I'd asked Acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker about this before, but, they're basically saying that we, in this case, we conclude no criminal charges are warranted in this manner. But at the same time, they raided Mar-a-Lago with agents everywhere, kicked in a door that was, by the way, inspected already by the National Archives with a lock that they advised him to put on there. So how are these cases so radically different in the eyes of justifying a raid on somebody who had authority to declassify stuff?
Yeah, that's right, Carl. And if you have any doubt about whether there's two systems of justice in this country, I encourage everyone to actually read this report. Because in this case, I've said it before, personnel is policy. Merrick Garland appointed an unhinged pitbull in Jack Smith, somebody that he knew would go after Donald Trump with anything that he had. And then he appointed somebody who was very meek and reserved in Special Counsel Hur to go after Joe Biden. And Hur did everything he could. He bent over backwards to not prosecute Joe Biden, even though he said that things that Joe Biden said were incredible. For instance, saying that, Joe Biden said classified when really he just meant private, that Joe Biden didn't know the difference between classified and private. This special counsel report really, really does show the politicalization of our justice system in America today.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, we have a statement from James Comer. Christina, take a look at this. He says, Americans expect equal justice under the law and are dismayed the Justice Department continues to allow Joe Biden to live above it. Joe Biden willfully retained classified documents for years in unsecure locations and intentionally disclosed them, yet faces no consequences for his actions. I cannot even wrap my head around this.
Yeah, and Jessie said it exactly right. There's a two-tiered system of justice in this country, and if your last name happens to be Biden, you get the best results possible, even when you've done the worst, most egregious crimes. And Representative Comer's statement points out the factors that they use to consider whether bringing charges is appropriate. And everything he raised is much more severe under the Biden case, how long he's had them, the fact he didn't legally have the right to have them, where he stored them. He actually disclosed, intentionally and willfully disclosed the information to his ghostwriter. And the list goes on of all the things he did. All Donald Trump did was leave them in his closet in Mar-a-Lago in a very secure location. Well, it's not fair.
Yeah, well, and also Mar-a-Lago is surrounded by Secret Service agents. But, Jessie, I got about 30 seconds left. The statute on classified information has no grounds for intent. It is whether or not you did it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they looked and did everything they could to find reasons not to prosecute him. One of the incredible things that they actually said is that there was no need for deterrence in order to prosecute him because they're already prosecuting Donald Trump. They used the prosecution of Donald Trump as an excuse to not prosecute Joe Biden. That's incredible.
That is actually the most insane thing. Christina, Bobb, Jessie Binall, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Coming up.